Lex Reads. So in today's video, I wanted to do my March wrap up. It's so crazy. These months are like flying by. But March was a really good month, especially when it came to, just everything. Reading, personal life. I did a lot in March for me. You guys saw I went to the CC Winans concert with my aunt and my sister and had a ball. And then of course always shopping a lot. With the reading, I actually I doubled it this month because I just was on a reading kick, and I'm on a reading kick the month of April. You guys know my wrap ups, I talk about books, movies, and music that I listen to the whole entire month. So let's just get started. So with the books, I read 9 books. And also I wanted to talk about one book that I read in the month of February. I forgot to tell you guys about. It was Fallen Grace by Sadiqa Johnson on Amazon. They do like those Amazon shorts, I believe, and they had historical fiction writers write like short stories on a character in their book. And in this story, Fallen Grace, it was based on it was based on The House of Eve, her book that came out last year in February. Talking about the character Bubbles. You guys read the book, you guys remember Bubbles. She was Ruby's friend, and y'all know her little situation. Girl, okay, so she wrote about that, and it was so good, and the narrating was fantastic, and I'm glad Bubbles was able to do what she needed to do. I want to share that with you guys because I forgot to mention that last month. All right, so for the books I read in the month of March, first, you guys know I had my Truman Capote kick, where almost 2 months I was just engrossed in his writing, and not only his writing but his life, because you guys know anything about Truman Capote, he was so messy, so messy. Okay, so I read this, Answer Prayers. I also did a read a book in one day. Then I read The Grass Harp by him, and this also includes other short stories, but the story that I read, it was so cute. It was kind of like inspired by his life. He's from the South, but you have a young boy. He lives with his 2 aunts. One is really like, they say eccentric, but she got a mind, her mind kind of delicate. And then you have another aunt that is like very structured, very stoic, stealth, like that. And she kind of gets sick of her, like kind of telling her what to do. And then she's like, I'm gonna live in this, tree house. And she takes the maid, the black maid, herself, and the young boy, and they live in the tree house and just explore. But it was such a cute story. Like I said in my video about him, his writing is fantastic. He was a fantastic writer. He just was messy. If you are looking for some short stories, he's known for his short stories, I would check him out, because when I tell you about up his books last month, girl, it was a problem. All right, next I read 50 Words for Rain by Asha, is it Lemmy? I wanted to read this because in the Amazon shorts, what I was telling you guys about earlier, she was one of the authors with a short story. I haven't read hers yet because I think that short story is based on a character from her newest book that came out last year. But I wanted to read her debut novel, and and the writing fantastic. The story was good, but it headed to a direction that I didn't really like, because it was kind of like, well, let me tell you what it's about. So you have a young girl, she's 8 years old, her name is Nori. This is set in Japan post World War II, and her mother is Japanese, her father is black, and her mother just drops her off and vanishes. But the thing is, her Japanese family, they are like high society. They're almost like, not almost, they're like royals. But they are ashamed of her. They're ashamed of what their daughter did. So they keep her in the attic, and she is in the attic for some years, where she didn't even go outside or anything like that. But in comes her half brother. He comes, doesn't know her, and he develops a relationship with her and realizes that he really does like her because she's such a sweet little girl, and just the yearning to want to learn. And that grandmama was horrible, but they grow up together, and yeah, the choices that she made, it was just like, why did you do that, baby? Yeah, overall it was a really good book. Next, I went to my classics. Right now I'm on a classic kick, and it's so rare for me because you guys know I say classics are a bore to me, but I got inspired after watching a couple episodes from the Gilded Age. I told you guys about that, and that's like the Victorian slash what, after Reconstruction age, 1900s. And I wanted to read this author, which is D.H. Lawrence, Lady Chatterley's Lover. And you guys remember I told you a couple months ago I saw the movie on Netflix, and I was so shocked because, girl, it's some scenes up in there, okay? But now that I read the book, I'm not shocked because this book actually was banned. And you couldn't get it until, what, 1960s or something like that, because it's about a woman named Connie. Connie married, well, when she first gets married, her husband, he comes from wealth, and they got an okay relationship. He goes to war, gets wounded, and he gets paralyzed from his waist down, and which means that he can't do nothing. This woman, she's already explored, when it comes to her sexuality, and her thing is, oh my goodness, like, I have married this man and he can't fulfill the marriage duties. What am I going to do? And she seeks other avenues. But the reason why this book was banned, it is highly sexual, but it's not vulgar. It's not vulgar. Like, if this came out today, they would be saying all types of things. Even though, I gotta admit, I was very shocked because they use terms like, they use the F word. And that you couldn't say that back in those days. This was published in 1923 or something like that. No, 1920s. So, and the way that he describes body parts and everything, it's highly sexual. So of course it was, oh my goodness, back in the day. Right now this ain't nothing right now if you read it. But overall, I really did enjoy this. You guys see how much I tabbed it. I even highlighted it. Passages. You guys know if I highlight something, that means I really do like it. But I like this book so much, and like the writing of the book, I bought 4 more of his books. That's how much I'm obsessed with D.H. Lawrence. But yeah, this was very good. It's not boring at all. I told you guys I have a lot of books that I do want to share with you guys that are classics. That is not a bore. And this was not a bore at all. Also, I listened to it in conjunction with reading it, and it was fantastic. Next is The Sun Also Rises by Ernest Hemingway. I did not like this. I did a video talking about this book, and I just was, no. I wanted to say I read a Ernest Hemingway book. I don't think I'm gonna read his other books because I just was not impressed. Next is The American Daughters by Maurice Carlos Ruffin. You guys know I did a reading blog on this and really did enjoy this book. This is based in Louisiana. It talks about free blacks. It talks about slavery. You have two characters, a mother and a daughter. They are enslaved. They get bought. They get separated, and then the daughter ends up being a spy. She joins a group that wants to take down the Confederates, and when I tell you, they got them together. It was so good. But yeah, I really did enjoy this. I'm gonna look up his other works too because I really like the way he wrote women characters. I read a romance book. I picked this up on a whim. It is Frenemies Fix Up, a Harlequin novel, and it is by Yara St. John. I like this book so much that this is a series, and I told you guys in my last video of anticipating reads, she's coming out with a book in August about one of the friends that was in this book, and I cannot wait to read it because I really did enjoy this. When I tell you I picked this up on a whim, I really did. I went to Barnes & Noble. I was walking in, I saw it on the table, and I saw these 2 black people. I said, okay, and I know what Harlequin means, so I know it's gonna be a romance. Read the back of it, it was like, oh yeah, I'm getting it. You have a young girl named Shay Davis. She is a yoga instructor. She owns her own yoga studio. You have a young man named Colin. Colin Anderson, they knew each other back in high school, but like he didn't pay her any attention. He has a little health scare and he has 90 days to get like his health together, because he also is a very successful man when it comes to his job, and you know, he's like a workhorse, and he wants to make sure, you know, he wants to make sure that his work doesn't hinder with, you know, his personal life, his health. And so he's like, well, if you can whip me up in 90 days, you know, I'll be clear to go back to work. Clearly, you know, with them being together all the time, they, you know, start this relationship, and it was really, really good. And you know, with like romance novels, usually it's always like a happy ending. So next I read or listened to On Chill with a Billionaire by Black Lavish. This, I didn't like it, and I thought I was gonna like it. You guys know I did a video about some recommendations of urban fiction / romance, where I listed the books that I wanted to read. I will read them and then tell you guys how I like them, and that video is going to be coming soon. But this one, it was all right. You know, you got like a woman, she goes to, oof, girl, I read it, listened to it a while ago. Okay, wait. So I think she goes to Vegas, and she goes to Vegas with her friends, and she ends up bumping into her child's father, and you can imagine what happened. They, I guess, start talking and things like that. Again, it's stuff that I would like, but I just wasn't feeling that. And then also too, the narrating was horrible. So I think that's what kind of messed me up. And then lastly, I listened to Crush on a Savage by Danielle May. Oh, what was that about? Crush on a Savage, I can't, what was that about? I'm gonna do that video of me, you know, reviewing the books and talking more in detail, but I cannot tell you what that was about. What I said means that it wasn't a good book if I can't remember anything, and I don't forget stuff. Yeah, I gotta tell you about that in the other video. That is all for the books. Next, for movies, I only watched one movie, you guys, because I was so engrossed in reading these books, and I'm on a kick with the classics, so that's the only thing I was, you know, doing. But I watched Sally Hemings, An American Scandal. I love that movie. It was a TV miniseries, back in 2000. I actually went to my sister's house and watched it, and I've seen that so many times. You can watch it on Tubi, but it's about Thomas Jefferson's mistress, Sally Hemings, and you learn about her life and everything. So good, and it's not a bore, not long. You can watch that in one day, because I went to my sister's house and I was there for like 3 hours. And then for music, I didn't really listen to a whole album, just you know, songs, but I want to show you the album that I did get for the month of March. I was so excited. I went to Walmart and of course was looking for something else and saw this and got it. But this is In Vogue. It's like a greatest hits type, has like all their singles and things like that. I am a huge In Vogue fan. I like In Vogue, the Funky Divas, okay? And I would say my favorite, for some reason, I do like Cindy. I always like Cindy. Dawn got the swag. Dawn got the swag in the group. But yeah, I was so excited to get this because I wanted to get them on vinyl. And when I saw they had In Vogue and it was only $20. Vogue is like my second favorite girl group. I would say first is Destiny's Child because I'm a child of the 90s. So yeah, that was the record that I got the month of March. So yeah, guys, that is it when it comes to my wrap up. Yeah, guys, that's all I have for you, and I'll be back with more Black books. Bye.